Well, I'm Moira. I'm from the Public Radio of Argentina. Thank you for taking this time to answer some questions. Are you okay? Everything's okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Hola.
Hola. The first question I have is, what is the relation you have with Argentina? And if you listened or know any Argentinian musician, artist, band.
I know the Winona Riders.
Okay, they are
So
playing.
they're opening up the concert, and I'm excited. So there you go on the first thing. I know when I go all over the world, like people love to tango. It's really nice. Like sometimes when I go out, I go out to some bars when I'm walking around cities in France or Ukraine or something. You'll walk down the street and it'll be tango night and all the people are dancing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful that it lives. You know, that people really love the culture. And I'm really looking forward to coming back to Buenos Aires to play. And I'm happy that it isn't a festival, because I don't like that's a festival. I mean, I'm happy. A festival is good for, I don't know, for other people that like to go out in a big crowd and experience that stuff, and bands that like to just play for a couple minutes and make money. But for me, I really like a normal concert, you know. So I'm happy that we're coming back. I feel thankful and honored, you know.
In relation with the festivals and the music industry, the commercial music industry, maybe here in Argentina you have new fans, like Brian Jonestown Massacre have new fans this year. And they don't know what is the position of the band in relation with the music industry, like the decision of being an independent band. Why taking that decision, and what's the position of the band in relation with that?
Yeah, well, I never really thought I was going to be involved in the music business. I was more interested in being in my own business. I'm interested in creating culture. My experience from thinking about it and stuff, I'm interested in the culture side of music more than the money side. And I don't have a lot of respect for the mainstream business. I'm interested in music as an art form, and folk music as people coming together with music. And I like music from everywhere in the world, you know, and it has nothing to do with what everybody else thinks or what everybody else wants. I'm you know, I mean, I don't. It's tough. It's hard for me to answer your question. I mean, I'm really interested in subcultures and the way that people work together, not the way that corporations or people decide to make money off of each other. See, so I think it's very important that we create our own culture, and that we stand together in that one simple way, you know, is that in the things that, see, in a modern world, it's easy to think about the ways that we're different from each other, but it's more important to focus on the ways that we're still together. And that's what society really is, you know, and music and the arts help that. It's humanities. It's the things that we do together, not the ways that we are different, you know. So go ahead.
In a human way, and not in a business way.
Well, you know, if all your concerns are business, in business, the goal of life is to get the best deal for your team, and it doesn't matter. And then the strength might makes right. So if you have the biggest army and the biggest, everything's gone. So, you know, Like, let's destroy Patagonia, or let's do all these things. Let's, as a business decision, it's all wrong, So I'm on a more personal level. I'm interested in uh, in the things that bring people together, not the things, It's silly, right? I don't know.
Also,
I don't know what to say, but the last thing on my mind is business. I mean, I'm completely very good at it, my own personal business, but money is not the thing that motivates me.
it's nice to have a band that says, maybe I don't want to be in a festival. I want to play 3 hours, something that in a festival you can do.
Yeah, and the I've been playing music since I was 10 or 11. I'm 55. And the reason why I'm still playing music is because I love music. See, I have enough money. That's not the issue. The issue is that I really love music. And I come to my studio. I'm at my studio now, and I come here 6 days a week, and I come into this room here where I have all these things, you know, all this many things, and I play them all, and I make recordings, I make records, but I only do it because I like music, you know. I'm not interested, and the rest of it takes care of itself, I think. Um, but what I do know from history is most people, even when they have some success, they stop playing music. Like all the bands and these, it was so important with these number one hits. Everybody that you hear of, they don't play music anymore, and there's reasons why. And I think it's because I don't know that people are interested too much in being popular or fame and money, But I like to play music.
And I wanted to ask about the song David Bowie, I Love You Since I Was 6. You just said that you play since you were 10 years old. And
Yeah.
what's the inspiration of David Bowie and what's the story of that song?
Well, where I grew up was very crazy. It's very white and rich people now. But it started out like a coastal village, but it's like Beverly Hills by the ocean. And all the people that I met and knew in my life, I never wanted to be like them. They could be good people, simple people or something, but I didn't really like them as far as examples of what I wanted to be in my life. So I knew by the time I was 6 that I never wanted to be like any of these people, because I thought that people were unhappy, and they were unhappy because they weren't doing really what they wanted to do or be really what they wanted to be. So out of that, when you make those decisions or you have those thoughts or realizations, it's a very lonely place. But in books and in art and in music, you can find other people who decided to be themselves or to go to their own path. And that doesn't mean like you're like anarchy against everything or anything, but to be your own person and to uh, live your life your own way. And so to me, I didn't feel alone when I found music from all over the world. Doesn't matter who it is. It's art that speaks to you. It's something, or culture, or just ideas and people talking about things. So that's what that's about, I think, is that you can find that's why art is important. So it was a smile about that, because I think David Bowie's an interesting person.
Also, I want to ask about the presence of cats in some covers of the band and also in the songs. Like, Who Dreams of Cats or the cover of Fire Doesn't Grow on Trees? Like, why the decision of the cats there?
Well, sometimes when people have a stressful life, they'll dream about stuff. Like you can have a spirit animal or something, right? There's just something in your dream. You're like, why was that there? Like some crazy thing. So I make up so many songs and ideas. I always need to call something something. I need to come up with titles. But the cat on the album was my son Wolfgang. During the pandemic, we bought him some art books, and he made this one collage called Cat City. So I was like, this is pretty good. I'm gonna surprise him and just use it as a record cover. And then the funny thing about that is I had to keep it secret for like 6 months until I just went to the store and got the album for him and said, because I took it off the wall to scan it, and it's so funny. He didn't notice, and then yeah, it was just to surprise him. I think it's funny because he can go to record stores and see that he actually made something. I actually owe him 500 euros for that. But so, I like cats, I like dogs, I like llamas, I like everything. Alpaca. There's a cat. Sometimes I see different stuff and I'm just like, I want that, or I like it. But yeah.
Do you remember what was the longest show of Brian Jonestown Massacre? Like, what was the
Well,
top of hours?
I don't know, but I know that the last time we played Argentina, we played all the concerts that year for 3 hours. And I
Okay.
think everything, so we toured the world and just played 3 hours every day. But I think everything's changed most places. Like so many, we play big places, and like these Live Nation and these companies have bought everything, and they're not interested in big concerts. This is very difficult. I think in America, sometimes in some places it's easy because the drinking time, I don't know, it's crazy. They don't have subways, they don't have mass transit, and the bars are open till after 2 o'clock, so you can kind of play.
Mhm.
But in Europe, everything's based on the train time, so all concerts have to end at 11. So you never see a concert past the last train, and it's just very hard to do that now, I think. But I really wanted to, when I was younger and reading about bands, like I love history and I understand the history of rock and roll. And you hear these legends of people playing, oh, they played for 3 hours. So I was like, we'll just play 3 hours every single day, you know, and just make it crazy. But I think now, uh, we just play, it's over 2 hours, but it's like just until I feel the time is right. It's not like, I don't know, it's not a gimmick. I just think when we present like a good selection of songs, it takes people. It goes really quick. There's some great bands that like like a band like The Cure. They're so funny. If you listen to on the singles on the singles on the beach, the collection of the singles, that's already 2 hours of great music. But there are an hour, right, of great music, but then they slip into this disintegration mode and they'll play 2 hours of that stuff and nobody needs to hear it. Like we just flip from song to song to song and it just keeps changing. So I think I don't know,
I
what to
mean,
say.
in a rehearsal, you can be playing like 6 hours. You think that you can like fly, like flow?
Well, it's crazy when we all live all over the world. So when we start rehearsing together, the first day it takes 8 hours to play like four songs or something, or 5 songs, 6 songs, and then you get to the next songs the next day, and the next songs, and then the last day you're lucky in 8 hours to play a 2 hour set, because you stop and say that's not right. You have to remember this part. And in a concert now we play so slow in a way that we like take our time. We'll like smoke a cigarette, have a drink. We don't care. And the reason why is because I don't think people should be in a hurry, because we want to play every song perfect, like, or something. Like, and then after about 3 songs, people understand what's going on. They're like, oh, this is very good, you know? Instead of going bam, 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 because you can't tell what's happening, I think. But we have a very interesting way of playing these days. People are like, why are they doing this? Like, they're not even talking, they're just looking at each other for a minute, you know, or something. Mm. But I think I don't know. I'm really excited about playing, and we're very, very good right now. If I can get everybody to focus and not party, then I think we're very, very good. So there's a reason we're coming back. We're really good at what we do. So it's exciting, because you have to remember, and this isn't my ego, but the Beatles stopped playing concerts in '66. They couldn't even play their music, let alone being like 55 or whatever. And see, not everybody in my band isn't 55. We're all different ages, but it's like there's no chance. You can look at what Paul McCartney was doing after 30 years. He was singing Ebony and Ivory with like Michael Jackson. It's like, what does that have to do with Sergeant Pepper? So we're a completely different animal, I think. I can't wait, you know.
What were you listening recently? A song, an album, a band, any?
I work on so much. I work on so much music, so that I've been listening to my friends, the Sound Carriers.
Okay.
So it's like aircraft carrier, but sound carrier, one word. I really like their album In Tropical. It's very cool.
Okay.
And so it's easy to find on like Spotify or whatever. But it's really cool music, you know? So, but most of the time, you know, I have so much time in the day. I can either play my guitar or listen to somebody else play guitar. So, you know.
A lot. Well, thank you so much, and good luck here in Argentina. And thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Have a good day. Gracias.
Yeah, you
Nos
too.
vemos.
Bye.
Chao.